What is going on, my beautiful friends? Thank you so much for joining me on another edition of Trail Talks. Today, we are headed to the desert lands of BC, beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia, the Kamloops Bike Ranch to be exact. This is a chapter out of my book, The Best Mountain Bike Trails in Canada, available now on Amazon, your official Canadian mountain biking guidebook with all of the best trails in one place. All right, my friends, for those of you who have never been to Kamloops, this is a top 5 or top 10 MTB town in BC with just a sickening amount of trails. You got Harper Mountain, you got Sun Peaks, you got Pine View, you got some trails off the map that are very good, and you got the Kamloops Bike Ranch, one of the birthplaces of the sport. For those of you who are not too familiar with mountain biking history, mountain biking was credited with being started by the clunkers over in California. These crazy dudes used to ride their old rigid bikes with useless brakes and very small ungrippy tires down these fire roads at top speeds. So we love the clunkers. They are credited with starting the sport of actual mountain biking. But when it comes to riding single track trails, many have speculated that that started in BC on places over like the North Shore, places like Rossland, and places like the Kamloops Bike Ranch. This place is so cool. You can see old free ride lines coming down off the cliffs when you're in the parking lots, and you can feel the mountain biking history here. So, my friends, the Kamloops Bike Ranch, what is this place known for? Jumps, 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 and more jumps. It's not all jumps, though. They do have some more flatter trails that are less airborne, but they also have a lot of high gravity trails. But let us get into the more green trails, the more beginner riding, because they do have this. So both True Grit and Blazing Saddles, fun green trails, nothing too surprising or epic you are going to find on these trails. More old school, what I would call desert flow, that's what I wrote. So True Grit and Blazing Saddles, both green trails, green descent trails, a lot of switchbacks, a lot of flow, some speed, a great trails for beginner riders to get their wheels on the ground and get used to the Kamloops Bike Ranch before they're seeking out some big air trails. So after those two green trails, you have more kind of blue trails with a similar flavor, and those are Three Amigos and Rattlesnakes. So for Three Amigos, I wrote down switchbacks, berms, rollers, high-speed fun. Once again, not many features on any of these trails, just blasting down the mountain, high-speed fun, getting your turns in, getting comfortable on some big mountain riding. For Rattlesnake, I wrote old school, twisty, turny fun. So Rattlesnake is just that. An old school, twisty trail taking you down the mountain. These first 4 trails, nothing too crazy in the way of trail features or show-stopping trails themselves. Very much just a good flow down the mountain. For those of you looking to amp it up a bit, get a bit of airtime, that is where these next trails come in. So, the easiest jump trail on the mountain is the blue rated tumbleweed. This one has flow, this one has berms, this one has tabletops. So all the jump trails here are very sick. Before you go trying to progress on to the rest of the jump trails, you absolutely must ride tumbleweed. So graduate from the blue rated tumbleweed first, because these black rated trails are pretty badass. So make sure you graduate from tumbleweed first before you get on to Wrangler. So Wrangler is a single black bike park style trail, huge tabletops and berms. Now, if you read the Trail Forks description on Wrangler, it says A-line style jumps, and I don't know quite about that. These are some massive tabletops. I haven't been to this place in about 4 years, but I was not very good at jumping when I first went there. I am a lot better now, so I look forward to tackling Wrangler again with my new bike and my new improved jump skills. But let me tell you, Wrangler, this was some of the biggest so-called tabletop jumps I have ever seen in my life. And back then, I could do A-line. I can do a lot of the jumps on A-line, but I found Wrangler much more kind of steeper lips, bigger jumps, so definitely a very difficult single black jump line is what I will say. But at the same time, very cool, very unique, such a sick trail, the one you can lap to get good at these bigger tabletop jumps. And I forget, there might be some gaps. I actually forget. I think it is mostly huge tabletop jumps on Wrangler. Those looking for a little bit of a mixed jumpy trail, Pale Rider. This one has large jumps, so this one has kind of a mix of tables and gaps, and some kind of tables that have little gaps on them. Anyways, Pale Rider. I heard this one was recently refreshed, and it is now actually a double black. So this one is your double black jump line. Large jumps, gaps, tables, big berms, and good fun. Recently upgraded to a double black. So make sure you follow the progression here. When you are doing the jump lines, Tumbleweed to Wrangler, Wrangler and Pale Rider. Tough to say which one to ride first, but this one is a double black now, so we'll put it like this. Tumbleweed first, then you can do Wrangler, then you can do Pale Rider, and then you will be ready for one of the most epic jump lines in all of BC. This one is for pros only though. It is a pro line beyond the double blacks, and I can't even see what I wrote because it is in red and I am wearing red glasses, so I will kindly take these off and get into the fistful of dollars. One of BC's best jump lines, rated a pro line, so this is a free ride trail with large gap jumps everywhere. So the jumps start a bit easier. You'll jump over some sort of hut-y thing. It's very cool trail. Such a very cool trail. One of the most iconic jump lines in all of BC. So expect large gap jumps everywhere, and it has a massive drop on it. So gap jumps, gap jumps, gap jumps, you will hit the massive drop, and then you will be surrounded by more gap jumps. So this one has big old gap jumps, and the jumps do get a little bit bigger and kind of harder as you get down. The jumps start easier, they kind of lull you in, and then you're just in for it. And man, I wish I can clear these trails. My jumping skills are not there. But fistful of dollars, one of the best jump lines in all of BC. One of the best pro free ride trails you will find anywhere on the West Coast. So if you have those jumping skills, if you're a crazy airborne 15-year-old, you will absolutely love Fistful of Dollars. I'm just joking. This trail is for everyone. You don't need to be 15 years old. You just need to be really good on a bike and really good in the air. So Fistful of Dollars, one of BC's best pro line jump lines you will ever ride, with large gap jumps and a very, very large drop on it. My friends, this is one of the most classic places you can ride in all of BC. There is a shuttle man there. He will shuttle you up the hill. The climb is not too bad here. It's only about, I don't know, what is it, 1.5 to 2 kilometers up. Not the most massive mountain you will ever find, but not a lot of shade here. This is a very dry and deserty kind of, mountain, you can say. So when you're climbing up, not a lot of shade. It gets very hot in Kamloops, so you might want to find out the man who's going to shuttle you at the bottom lot. He will shuttle you up to the top. I can't confirm whether he works every day or just kind of on the weekends, busy season thing, but that is definitely something worth to look ahead for, because the Kamloops Bike Ranch, just an epic place, especially if you want to catch some air. And there's also some great beginner and intermediate trails for those who just want a gentle flow, get some good turns going down the mountain, baby. Anyways, my friends, hopefully you can make it out to Kamloops. So many amazing trails in Kamloops, and you gotta ride them all, baby. Peace and lots of love. I will see y'all soon. Later.